Okay, here we go to the section E Miscellaneous. This lecture will be the last lecture of this inspection report details. Here, okay, let's go to column 1 in ingredient of the sprout. From number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. These are not all applies to the foreign operations. Okay, let's just simply say here, not applicable. Yeah, this is about the sprout. And this number 2 is sprout facility. This is number 3 is about also about sprout. Number 4 is use of the ethylene. This is not applies. Also, number 5 is exclusion of this production. This one not applies to the organic agriculture products. Number 6 is about forest harvesting. This one is not applies. So this is all not applicable. Number 7 is separate management plan for power production. So this farm, just in case if the farms are in parallel production, inspector needs to verify how the organic fields and organic crops are separated from the conventional products. So how far the conventional field and organic field each other, and then. For example, for instance, organic crops can be harvested in August, and the organic, the conventional crops could be harvested in different months. This kind of separate management. So these things, and then if it goes to, if the operator has two separate machines or two separate storages for organic and non-organic, those management should be clearly described onto the OSP and again here. If enough explanations are on the OSP, inspector is not needed to readdress everything onto the report. But at least the inspector have to describe some verification or the comment or the opinion onto this comment section. So I recommend, but this one is really complicated to describe everything here. Even though inspector describe thoroughly everything on this section, on this comment, maybe the reader, the evaluator, or not be able to understand fully. That's why it's not recommended to have some parallel operations. The parallel operation, parallel production, inspection for the parallel production is really complicated. It's really requires a lot of documented evidence. Okay, so simply if it's just an organic and put here not applicable, and it against inspector can say here this operation, this farm is just for organic, and no, it's not the parallel production. There will be enough to say here. Okay, for a ban of keeping prohibited inputs in the standard, no prohibited substances, chemicals or the fertilizers must be stored within the certification farm. So certified operator should not have any prohibited substances, the chemicals or the fertilizers, on his hand. So during audits, inspector needs to check, verify in detail all the fields and the warehouse, some the area were related to the organic farming, to verify whether the operator has some prohibited materials or not. So this is information. This kind of verification should be on this section here. Okay, upon verification of the form, it appears that the operator has none of any prohibited material. That will be enough to say here. Okay, let's go to number 9, column number 9. Always comply to the standard. Okay, simply say here yes. Operators are stay with the standard. It was verified upon the inspection or upon the verification of the form. It appears that the operator is continually stayed with the standard. There will be enough to say here in the comment section. Next one is the providing records. This standard, number 5. Documentation verifying that all rules and updated regulations are in compliance must be made available to the head of the annex or the certifier. So if inspectors are asking for information, it should be provided immediately during the audit. So if something not verified during the time of the audit inspection, inspector have to specify here this and this documents were not provided during the audit because of this reason, and it should say here non-confirmed. It's one of the non-conformity. Okay, this one is very important. But if all the informations are collected before the inspection and during the audit inspection, you could say here yes, it's confirmed, and could say here all the informations, all the required documents are provided before inspection and during the audit. Inspector could inspectors is be able to access to all the documents freely. That kind of comments are acceptable on this comment section. Number 11, record of the agricultural chemicals. This is talking about in parallel production. If it's the farms are in parallel production, the record of the agricultural chemicals, related documents to the agricultural chemical use, name of the product, purchase amount by date, usage amount by place, inventory records, purchase invoice. It should be kept for the parallel production. But if the farms are just doing only organic, it's not necessarily to ask to the farm. So just simply say yes if the farms are if the farm is just organic. But if in the case of the parallel production, you have to check, you have to specify all the details of the agricultural chemical use, which had been used to the conventional farm field. Okay, after verification of all of this, this is actually interview. The participant to the exit interview, the name should be specified here. Everything, especially the applicant, should be participated on this exit interview. And have you taken the sample for testing? That you have to check here. If the samples are collected, then check yes. If not, then no. If samples are taken during the audit, and the confirmation the sample taken should be completed during the exit interview. Okay, non-compliances. If there's non-compliances, it should be verified here. It should be addressed here. Everything. Applicable standard. This is the applicable standard regulation. Annex something. Just copy of this here and paste here. And this is the contents. Copy and paste here. Oh, it's really and something. And if something is non-compliant to the standard here, just copy it and paste it here. And then right here the comment of the applicant. If the comment, if applicant willing to correct the non-compliant, will be accepted. So all the evidence of the non-compliant had been submitted to the inspector, auditor during the certain period. Upon receiving of the corrective actions of the documents of the corrected action, inspector may erase some non-compliances here and make it empty and submit it to the DCOK without any non-compliant, and DCOK will be able to issue a certificate. It makes more easy to issue a certificate, but every non-compliant have a certain evidence, documented evidence for the corrections. Okay, others, which is now addressed down to the inspection details. Everything could be written on this content is others, additional informations. Or the findings during the audit, summarized here are the findings. A list of the attached documents. Okay, during the time of the audit, on-site visit, you may see or you may ask some evidential document to the operator. It should be listed here, or document listed here. Okay, first number one soil nutrition test report, and this one it should be copy. Okay, just number one, copy. Let's see, and here it's here. This one, number 3, is regular soil testing. This is about the soil nutrient test report, so it should be somewhere here under the inspector's verification of comment. So this attachment and the last, this list of attached documents should be correspond each other. Okay, all the attachment of the standard attachment to the report has to be listed here, and the name of, and when the inspection report submitted to the DCOK, all this summary, this attachment documents should be submitted together. Okay, thank you. Submission date. Please put the date here and send it to $DCOK. Thank you very much. If you have any question, please email me to sikim@dcok.org. Okay, thank you very much.